Do you guys want to learn how to make a delicious land and sea pasta? If you do, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And follow my recipe, because you're not going to want to miss this. What you're going to do is you're going to crack your egg. That didn't turn out as bad as I thought it was going to. And I got shell in the bowl. That's what I thought was going to happen the first time. Alright, wasn't that bad. So I have gone ahead and whisked up my eggs. I have my seasoning in a bowl, just the breadcrumbs. She's going to throw a quick little dash of Italian seasoning. You're going to throw some onion powder in, just a little bit. Paprika, you do want to go heavy on, just because this is going to be your heat to your pasta. And this is where you're going to get all the spice. I'm also going very light on my onion and garlic powder, just because you're actually going to put it in with the shrimp when you go to cook the shrimp. So right now I just have my chicken and my egg wash. And I'm just letting it soak. Then I will pull it up. I will let all the juices drip off. This is very important. You want to make sure that all the egg drips off. Otherwise, it's going to make your coating not stable. And then you're going to have chicken with breadcrumbs off of it. So now that I see that all the egg has come off, we're going to go ahead and put it in our mix, which is the breadcrumbs, onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and paprika. And we're just going to turn over a couple of times just to make sure that everything gets coated right. Now when it comes to the chicken breast or chicken tenderloin, depending on which one you're using, you're going to want to make sure that you do one per dish. So it's only my husband and I tonight because, once again, my sons are my parents. So we'll just need one tenderloin or chicken breast each. Tonight I am using tenderloins. So then I'll go ahead and I'll repeat the process with my other tenderloin. Making sure that you fully coat it. Alright, so now that it has finished dripping off, we're going to go ahead and put it in our mixture once again. Make sure that everything is fully coated. Gonna do a little shake. Let's shake this tenderloin's booty, as my son would say. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put that in the plate. While my chicken tenderloins are sitting off to the side, I'm going to allow my water boil for my pasta. I have it on medium heat. And then once this gets boiling, we'll get to the next step. Okay, so now that my pasta is starting to boil, we're going to go ahead and put our front burner on medium heat. We're then going to put some olive oil in. And once this starts bubbling, we'll be putting our shrimp in. We have 5 shrimp cut up over here, just diced up. No tails. You want to make sure you keep your tails out. So now that we have our oil starting to bubble, we're going to go ahead and put our shrimp in. We're going to let that sit there for a minute, then we're going to go ahead and toss it around. And all we're really doing is browning up our shrimp. and your shrimp has been sitting there for a minute, we're going to go ahead and stir it around. And the reason why we're doing this is to brown it up and cook the shrimp. Then we're going to put in some onion powder and some garlic powder. Do not be afraid if it completely coats a specific piece of shrimp just because you're going to be mixing it around. So you're going to mix it all in. And once it hits the oil, it will actually liquefy and mix in with the other pieces of shrimp. So now that our shrimp has cooked completely, we're going to leave it off to the side, and you want to leave it in the pan. I will explain that in a minute. Now we are going to put our sauce in, and we are just putting our sauce in to warm it up. We are not doing anything special to it. We're just going to leave it there until it's completely warmed up. So now that my water has come to a complete boil, I'm going to put my pasta in, and not worry about those two pieces that just flipped out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set my time until 11 minutes, guys. The 11-minute mark is actually the perfect mark. Alright, so now we're going to get ready to air fry our chicken tenders. Honestly, guys, when it comes to frying, I don't deep fry anymore. So I just spray it down, and then I put my chicken tenders in. So now I'm going to go ahead up here and put it on for 5 minutes. Now, do you guys remember how I told you to leave the shrimp in the frying pan? There's a reason for that. Do you see all this juicy goodness that comes out? All the residue from the shrimp? Well, we're going to go ahead and throw our shrimp into our sauce now that's starting to bubble. You want to make sure you do this really quick because otherwise it's going to bubble all over the place and it's going to be a very full mess. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. Look at all this beautiful juice from the olive oil. Now, this isn't like your vegetable oil or your canola oil, what's actually unhealthy oils. This is very healthy oils. So I have my shrimp in the pot, mixed it with my marinara sauce, and now I'm putting the juice mixture, the residue. You want to make sure you get as much as you can, just because it's extremely healthy. And there's so many health benefits to olive oil that I honestly had no idea until a couple months ago. Now we're going to go ahead and mix in our shrimp with the sauce. And we're going to let this cook for about 15 minutes. Do you guys remember when I said to make sure you leave out your egg and your breadcrumbs? There's a reason for that. These chicken tenders, we're actually going to double fry them. So you stick them in for 5 minutes. Bring them out. Put this back in. Now this time it actually is going to cook for a lot longer. So if you want, you could actually just leave your sauce until the very end. Because when we go ahead and put it back in, we're actually going to be putting it back in for 25 minutes. Because right now the chicken's very raw. The only reason why I put it in for 5 minutes is because you didn't want to cook it too much and then go back and cook it again. You just want to cook it a little bit, fry it, cook it a little bit, do your little breadcrumb deal here, stick it in your air fryer, back in same degrees, 350, for 25 minutes. Okay, so now that I have my pasta in the pot, I'm going to go ahead and dump in my sauce. With the shrimp added in. Gonna go ahead and mix this up. I then put it in my bowl. I take out my chicken tenderloin. Now after you put your chicken tenderloin in, you just want to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top if it wants to stay open. And there you go. Your land and sea pasta. If you want, I know some people tend to be picky about it, you can brush it off, but I prefer to keep it on there. So we have our chicken tenderloin, our pasta, and let's see if I can get a piece of shrimp out here. And shrimp. Remember guys, stay healthy.